There's a kind of resentment that doesn't look like resentment. You're not fighting with each other. You're just not slamming doors. You're just a little less available than you used to be. Maybe a little quieter over dinner, a little slower to reach out for them. And if someone asked you what was wrong, you genuinely couldn't name it. And that's what we're talking about today in this episode, and why this can be more dangerous than the loud kind of resentment. If you've ever found yourself thinking, why do we keep having the same argument? Or why does connection feel harder than it used to? You're not alone. Welcome to Marriage, Intimacy and Healing with Andrew and Lara.
We're a husband and wife team, blending science-based coaching and clinical nervous system insight to help couples understand what's really happening underneath conflict, distance, and emotional shutdown.
I'm Lara. I'm an ICF PCC certified coach and educator.
And I'm Andrew, a licensed physical therapist specializing in body, mind, heart integration with extensive experience helping high-performing individuals navigate stress, communication, and emotional regulation.
Together, we help you recognize the patterns that pull you apart and offer practical, grounded shifts that bring you back into connection. Let's dive into today's episode. So here is the version of resentment that a lot of couples, if not most couples, actually miss. It's not the explosive kind. It's the kind that builds when nothing seems technically wrong. You're functioning, you're parenting, you're showing up, but somewhere along the way you stopped volunteering your thoughts and sharing your thoughts with each other, knowing that that's actually a part of intimacy, isn't it? It's a part of connection, and connection is the absolute foundation for everything we're doing in marriage. You might answer when you get asked a question from your spouse, but maybe you're not bringing things up anymore. You're not angry, but maybe you're less available. And the wild part is that you often do not know what is happening until you catch yourself feeling distant from someone that you genuinely love. This usually starts with a lot of tiny, small, absorbed moments. Those moments that you kind of just soak in and they build up over time. And you decide for whatever reason, you're not going to mention them. You're not going to mention that it bothered you because it wasn't worth the fight. You picked up the slack one more time without saying anything. Each one is nothing, but your nervous system is clocking it and keeping count, even if you are mentally not keeping count. And that's why it's a little bit dangerous, this one.
Yeah, and it seems like a small thing, but couples we coach, often the big dramatic fight or the big dramatic thing hasn't happened. So they're like, we're good. But there's these deeper things, a bit more conversational and smaller things through the week that are goal to deepen into and deepen their relationship, but they're just not aware of.
Have you ever experienced this in our relationship at any time, any season, where either me or you were gently pulling back from one another and we didn't really notice?
Definitely. When the kids were younger, and it was more just my own difficulty to bring some of those things up or how to bring that up. And this whole conversation's interesting and really great. We're giving you an invite to go deeper together when it can just seem, if I bring it up, it'll just be awkward and whatever. But it was when the kids were younger, and it was literally that we were both so busy. I was busy at work, and so when I came home, I just thought it was my old job to take the kids off my wife's hands, be Superman, and take it all from there. So that was obviously what she needed. But this topic makes me think I could have asked, to really know what was happening for her.
What was happening in that I could have asked for you?
I felt that I knew you, and I felt that it was my fault. So I was like, well, I'll do what I can. I can see what I need to do, get it done, so I'm not a bother anymore. That's a weakness for me, for sure.
What was happening for you in the I felt like it was my fault?
Because I'm working and you are a very adventurous person, and having the kids at a younger age, where they're all day long, but I'm away, needing constant attention.
Gotcha.
So it's pulling you away from things you really want to do in my head.
In your head. This is interesting. We're unpacking some good stuff here. As we reflect back through that season, our kids are a little bit older now, but middle school age, really. All right, let me give you another picture of what this might look like for you. Let's call them Megan and Tyler, late 30s, 2 kids. Tyler travels about half of the month for work. When he's home, he actually genuinely wants to help. So he takes bedtime, he takes the kids to the park, he gives Megan space, a little similar to probably what you were doing. And he thinks he's being thoughtful. But here's what Megan is carrying that Tyler doesn't see. She's the one tracking the school calendar. She's the one buying the birthday gifts for his mum. She's the one who knows the pediatrician's number and email. And when Tyler comes home and takes bedtime, she doesn't feel relief. She actually feels invisible because the thing he's helping with isn't the thing that's heavy for her. But she hasn't expressed that. Maybe she hasn't even identified that herself. So she stopped saying thank you to Tyler, not out of meanness. She's not trying to be mean. She's just struggling to be thankful for one thing that he's done when there's 20 other things that she's overwhelmed with. And Tyler notices the thank yous stopping and feels underappreciated. And he thinks, oh, she's just exhausted. It's just the season we're in. I should just give her more space. And he gives her more space, but she feels more invisible.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. And then neither of them has done anything wrong. They just haven't worked out what is actually happening underneath. And here's why I love that you and I recently became certified connection codes coaches, because we are able to identify really quickly now, much more deeply than we could in that season, what was actually really coming up emotionally that was kind of causing some of this stuff.
Yeah, and there may be a surface level of like, ooh, I feel a burden, but there's a deeper issue underneath all of that.
Yes.
And that's wonderful to delve into. But this story is interesting. And
yeah, it's hitting a few nerves for us, I think, because it's not exactly the same, but there are some similarities. And the thing is that some of it is just not having the emotional language or the emotional awareness to really just know what is going on.
Yeah, I can really see that for Tyler, that there's this genuine, like, I want to help. I want to be the helper here, and I think I'm doing the right thing. And then there's genuine nature for Megan, who's just like, oh, can't you see this? Or, then I could see many situations where both feel a sense of, where's my thank you? But then it can turn into a fight, or it could turn into something where you're like, what's going on here? Who else is in the room? Or what other dynamics going on that I haven't seen?
Yeah, this is so true. It's so funny because sometimes, like, I remember thinking I've done so many things to look after 2 young children, and our children are 14 months apart, so it was pretty full on, and we weren't living near any family. And I remember thinking, if I thank him for the one thing, what about the 50 other things that I've done today or that I still need to do today? So he's taken the kids, for example, and he's doing maybe the bedtime routine, but maybe I'm in the kitchen making school lunches. So I'm not actually resting. I'm doing a million other jobs. And that's where I think sometimes I didn't always identify that it never felt like relief, because it's just such a heavy season for so many people. And it might be a different season for you, but you can relate to some of the load.
Elements of this. The load of the kids could just be extra work or 2 jobs, or family struggles, not so much young kids, but family struggles where you're drained with time. Yeah.
And so here's what's really underneath all of this. Silent resentment isn't really about the dishes or about bedtime or who booked the appointment. It's about unspoken effort meeting unacknowledged absorption. And what I mean by that is like when you're consistently doing something your partner doesn't see, which probably happens a lot. Even if they do see it, maybe they didn't say anything and you've decided not to mention it because you don't want to be the nagging one, your brain still logs it. And ultimately your emotion is still logging it. Every small moment is a deposit that you feel like hasn't been returned. And after enough of those, a story forms. Sometimes we make up stories in our head about what's going on when it's not. And it can form underneath everything silently. And it can feel like this. I'm carrying this alone, or I'm feeling lonely, and they don't notice. Or they don't notice how hard I'm working. Does that kind of register for you?
Yeah, I definitely had conversations in my head processing that sort of idea. All the things I've done, all the things I've fit in, all the things that I'm doing toward the family and that sort of thing. And she just doesn't see this.
Yeah.
And I thankfully have a relationship with God, and I can talk about these sort of things, and I say, can't you see? And so often that can help me just get it off my chest, but I know that I can see the logic in it.
Yeah.
And that I can see, I need to be seen right now. But it doesn't help the dynamic. I still feel like, I want some thank you.
Yeah.
And some of you might feel like, the bigger person there doesn't need the thank you all the time, but I think what you said is really powerful, that it does something in our nervous system, it does something in our psyche, in our heart, in our mind, that we need to be seen and heard.
Yeah.
All the time. And the lack of that identity giving to us is detrimental.
And it is, because what it can actually look like is, if that's, for example, what you're feeling in any given season, without realizing it, he might lose his capacity to reach out for touch.
Yeah. He
may have a shorter, more kind of short fused tone with me or the kids, or this might be what you go through, or be slower to text back. That never happens with you. You're always really good at that one.
I've learned that one. That's a skill of importance.
It's a good skill with me.
She finds that important, so I'm just gonna move the needle that way and text that.
And what's happening is that your partner's reacting to the symptoms without knowing the cause.
Yeah.
And you're not even sure what the cause is. So I'm hoping we're bringing some light to that. So if anything here feels familiar to you, hit subscribe on this podcast. We are having these conversations every single week. And you can go to our website, andrewandlaura.com, where you can get the Be a Mate Shift, which is a 3-minute free download. That is the body, mind, heart shift. And it comes from our tools around being able to shift your mindset, shift your heart and your emotions, and shift your body quickly and get you reconnected. So head to andrewandlaura.com. So here's the one shift. We're just going to give you one tool, because it can be, and we know they're overwhelming. Because if you try to fix silent resentment with 3 strategies, you'll end up probably overwhelmed and forgetting all of them. So the shift is naming the absorption that you're feeling out loud. And what I mean by that is, what are you taking on and just packing up and stacking up within yourself? If you just sit with that for a minute, that isn't actually being acknowledged by you. You're just absorbing it. Before it becomes even louder resentment than maybe it already is. Not a confrontation. It's not a list. It's just one sentence, something like this. It might sound like, there's something small I've been carrying and I want to say it out loud so it doesn't turn into something bigger. And that might cause the other person to feel like a little like, oh, what have I done wrong? But these are the conversations, the brave conversations that allow you to have a healthy marriage.
Yeah.
And that sentence does something really specific. It interrupts that underground secret process that's in you. And it takes that private story, sometimes which isn't accurate, and it brings it into the light, into the surface. And it actually helps you reconnect because you've expressed it. When you do that, maybe if you have a kind of reactive partner, it might be good to say, hey, I just want you to listen. Please, it means a lot to me. And, 101, say I language, don't say you are doing, because we don't know. In this situation, it's often like you both have your own story and you don't realize how the stories are clashing and not complementing each other. So from your side, what makes that easier to hear when I say it like that? Yeah,
I mean, that sounds really relational. It sounds like you're sharing something from your side, your perspective. And I love you. I want to hear you. There will be a sense, because I think when I'm in a busy place or whatever, I'll be so glued on, I want to do everything to help this family. And then like, oh, what have I done wrong? So I think there'll be a moment of that. But it sounds very, oh, just share. Yeah, go for it. Different to like, okay, I just want to point out something you did earlier. And it's like, oh, okay, what did I do? That's very like you did. So the I language is super important. And I don't need to defend. I need to jump in and explain. I just need to listen.
So here's the thing that we want you to walk away with. If you feel like, oh my gosh, this is me, I have so much silent resentment, it doesn't mean that your marriage is broken. It just means you're human.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it's a sign that something small just needs to be leaned into and paid attention to and spoken. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
Now, if you're the one carrying it alone, don't feel like you're being too much or being dramatic. That's important because that absorption, it's really real. And if you're the one who hasn't seen it, you're not a bad partner. You're just the one that hasn't been told it yet.
Yeah.
Simple as that. So here's the question for the week. What's one small thing you've been absorbing but haven't said out loud? And what would it sound like if you did? And we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Thanks for joining us on today's Marriage, Intimacy and Healing. If this episode supported you, we'd love for you to download our free 3-minute BMH marriage reset at andrewandlaura.com. It's the quickest way to shift out of stress and back into connection. And for deeper support and to explore our resources and coaching, you can find everything at andrewandlaura.com.
Before you go, following the show or sharing this episode with another couple really helps more people find this kind of support. And we're so grateful when you do.
We're Andrew and Laura, and we'll see you next week.